Hi, it's Lucy here, and I want to share a simple card design with you today. I'll create one card, then we'll check out 22 different versions of it, and I have two bonus card designs too. For this card, I'm going to use one of my new PET tapes, and I'll add it to some white card, and then I can cut the slice of tape off. You can try adding them to different colors if you like, but I love the freshness of white behind tapes. I also have a new set of lace border PET tapes, and this one will make perfect borders for my floral strip. I'm adding them to one side of a piece of thick white paper that's the same size as my card front, and you can add directly to your card. I just love extra layers for a more professional look and feel. And then I'm going to add a thin border of rose gold card with double-sided tape to differentiate between the PET tape and the lace borders. I'm not measuring anything, I'm just eyeballing a thin strip on either side. And if you're happy to discard any overhanging pieces, I find this is a much quicker way than measuring things to fit the card front. I'll cut off any overhanging lace border pieces, and then I can add my strip to this piece of card again and cut off the extra pieces too. And in case you're new to PET and washi tapes, the difference between them is PET tapes have a transparent back border, and this is a PET tape I'm using here. Sometimes it's a little shiny and sometimes they're a matte finish, whereas the washi tapes have a white border. I'll add the piece to my card front and then I'll choose a sentiment. And I love the colours on this card. It has a bit of an autumn feel, so I'll use this gorgeous Thankful die I got recently. It has a border die too, so I've die cut both the sentiment and shadow in white and rose gold. I want a rose gold shadow slightly poking out from the white shadow, so I'll glue them together but slightly askew so you can see the rose gold card. I'll pop my acrylic block on top of it so the glue dries nice and flat, and to be honest, I use my acrylic block for this more than any other reason. If you watch my channel, you'll know I don't really bother with stamping very often. Once I've added the glue, I'll dab the sentiment onto some scrap paper to take off any excess glue before adding to the next sentiment layer. And this is especially important when working with metallic paper, as you can see glue on metallics more than other materials. So if you have a glue pen, they are perfect for gluing thin sentiments like this. I should have used mine, but I'm being a little bit stingy with it because there's not much of it left. Once the glue has dried, I'll add the sentiment to the shadow, and I've added 2 layers and the rose gold layers. So this sentiment is now 5 layers thick, including the shadow layers, and this gives it such a professional, beautiful finish. I'm also going to add some orange Nouveau drops as well, just to finish off the card, and then I'll add the sentiment. And after adding the Nouveau drops, I like to bang the card onto the Nouveau drops bottle, as it helps even out the dots so they make lovely little circles and no spiky peaks. So let's take a look at all the different versions I've created, and I finished them all within a day and a half, so they're definitely quick and easy to recreate. I decided to use lots of my PET and washi tapes, as I have some from the washi tape shop, and I checked to make sure they were all available before creating with them, so that if you do love the designs, I'll mention the name of each roll, and I'll have links to everything I've used today in the description box below. So this one is called Ivory Garden, and it's one of their latest ones as well. And for the borders on this card, I used one of the lace tapes, and this is a gorgeous olive green colour. It's a different design to the pink one, and the lace borders come in a set of 5. This next one is called Dreamy Merlot, and it's also a new one. You can actually buy these 3, and there's another 2 as a set as well, which is then cheaper. And this card I used Map Quest and Urban Wanderers, which the maps are this one, and then the Urban Wanderers are more different stickers that you can actually take off. They're all pre-cut and they have so many different designs on them. They're fantastic. I used a lovely blue floral print on this card and some pattern paper behind. This tape is called Oceanic Breeze. And I've used a slimline border die to create the borders for a few of my cards today. It's this one, and I absolutely love it. This next one, I used a PET tape called Ethereal Petals, and I used some striped paper to give something a bit different. This one is called Floral Chronicles, and I've been itching to create with it. I've created with most of these tapes on video before, so I'll add my PET tape and washi tape playlist at the end of this video in case you want to see more ideas using each one of these. I also used the green lace border again for that card. For this one, these are fairly new tapes as well, and it's called Urban Trek, and I used Passing Faces, which is also a new one, which is where I got the images from. So this one is the Urban Trek, and it has lots of different cities and things, and the Passing Faces one has pre-cut stickers on it. This next one is called Rose Noir, and it's one of my favorites. It's gilded with rose gold. I've created a few cards with this tape on video, and I loved how they turned out too. And most of the designs, if not all, come in PET and washi tape, so you can choose if you have a favorite type of material. This next one, I've used Vanilla Mint, and it's a beautiful green and cream type design. And this is the first card I created as a landscape card, and I also used the green lace for a border again. This one I've used a tape called Frozen, and I used the brown lace, but I only showed a little bit of it for the borders, and I think that looks really nice too. But those lace borders are really delicate designs. They're just gorgeous. I know I'm gushing, but I just love these. Oh, and I also have a discount code, especially for my viewers, to receive 10% off their order. So you just use the code LucyPatrick10, all in one word, and I'll have this written below too, so you don't need to remember it. But they also have free international shipping for orders over $20 US too. So I've created a couple of envelopes as well, just by adding a little bit of the tapes on them. And this next card is the tape's called Golden Blossoms, and I've used a gold border using the die again. This tape has some vases on it as well. And for this next card, I've used a PET tape called Blush Iridescent, and it has gorgeous shimmers through it. It's always difficult to tell if shimmering accents show up on video or not. Hopefully it is. I created a lot of the sentiments on my computer and printed them off in case you're wondering if they're a stamp. I find this a much easier way for me. For this card, I've added the strip to a textured looking background paper and also added some liquid pearls to it, kind of like Nuvo drops. And this tape is a washi tape. All the others so far have been PET tape. I love the brightness of this one. I've used the slimline border die again and a sentiment die along with the PET tape called Pink Ballet. And I love pink and red together. I just think it's a gorgeous combination. I also love this cobalt blue PET tape. It's so stunning in real life. I added the slimline border die again and a circle, then combined a sentiment die and a printed sentiment to finish the card. And I've made many cards with this tape on video too. Another card using the pink lace border, and this time the PET tape is called Glacial. The sentiment dies I'm using are linked below too. They're from Uniquely Creative. I made this cute Halloween card on one of my latest videos showing how to use up small washi tape stickers, and this is what actually inspired this video, as I really liked how the cards turned out and they were so easy. I thought I'd share more variations. I also tried out a monochromatic card on a landscape style card here. I added the PET tape and the black lace border tape, and then die cut a scalloped circle and sentiment to finish this card. Look how gorgeous this black lace tape is. I'm hoping to create some more easy cards using these lace tapes. Would you be interested in seeing that? And then this is the black and white tape that I used called Petal Ponder. And I centered the strip of PET tape this time for this card and added a rose gold border. I propped the sentiment up with foam strips, and the tape I used is called Rose Nocturne, and it's also gilded with rose gold, so it matches the metallic paper perfectly. It's just so beautiful. With this card, I added the strip to a pattern paper background and I added a couple of circles with the sentiment. And this PET tape is called Frost Bloom. And I had a few pieces that I'd previously cut out from the Frost Bloom and Blush iridescent tapes. So I decided to combine them to create a card rather than pop them away again. And I love how easily this card came together. I just layered all the pieces on top of each other to create a floral background and then added a sentiment. Another little thing you may not have realized if you've purchased from the washi tape shop before is they include a thank you note that has their socials on it, but it also has images that are peelable, so you can also create cards with them too. Here's a different card design using the same PET tape for my tutorial card, but I added 2 lines of it and then die cut a rectangle to create a patterned paper style background. I also wanted to show you an idea of making the insides of your cards special with these tapes by adding a matching sticker or tape inside. I've just added a couple of flowers to the insides, or this other one I've used the olive green lace to match the front of this card. What do you think of this card design? I hope you liked some of these cards. Did you have a favourite? If you have some tapes or pattern papers in your stash you can use, that's great. But if you want to go shopping for some of the items that I used today, as I mentioned, I have all the product names and links in the description box, along with the discount code and more information. And if you use my links, I receive a small commission too. So thank you for supporting my channel if you do decide to buy through my links. I want to say thank you to Nancy B, who's used the super thanks button 3 times this year. Big hugs to you for supporting my channel. It's much appreciated. And if you've enjoyed this video, if you could give it a thumbs up, that would be fantastic. And I love hearing your thoughts on the cards. You're all such a sweet bunch of people. Crafters really are the best, aren't they? So I hope you've been inspired and go get your craft on. If you'd like to watch more videos on PET and washi tapes, please click on the thumbnail here, which will show you my full playlist. And I have so many different card designs using them. So have a wonderful day, happy crafting, and I'll see you in the next video soon. Bye for now.